Hello guys, Robert1 here, and today I am doing a video that is called How to Side Against ABC. The deck that is coming out this week and is really the best deck of the format now, because, well, for 2 weeks at least, it's going to be the best deck of the format, because then it's going to be Treat Toad Heroes, or Totally Awesome Heroes, as it's now called, because Totally Awesome is what they called it, which I'm not happy about, but hey, what am I going to do about it? I'm just going to call it Toad, so I don't care, but still. Nonetheless, we are talking about what cards you can side up against ABC. So there are a few cards that I came up with that I thought would be pretty good cards to side against ABC this format, because they can also be sided against other decks as well, which I thought would be pretty good. So without further ado, we are going to get straight into this. So the first card that I thought would be really good to side against ABC is a card that I have actually sided before for the Blue Eyes matchup, and that is Ally of Justice Quarantine. Now, why is Ally of Justice Quarantine a good card to side against ABC? Well, for starters, it is searchable in the deck. It's searchable against ABCs and in any machine deck. Of course, you can be like, oh, Gideon X. I just summon Gideon X, then I search this with Gideon X, then if I can, I'll summon this to the field. Then my opponent cannot summon any of the ABC monsters from their hands, they can't summon ABC Dragon Buster from the extra deck, they can't summon any of it, all because Ally of Justice Quarantine is on the board. Because Ally of Justice Quarantine's effect is, neither player can special summon monsters, or can special summon light monsters. So, as soon as I saw this card, I thought, what other decks can this be good against? Because it's not just good against ABCs. You can also use it against stuff like, I don't know, Psyframes, Blue Eyes, anything of that sort. You can also use this card in a Pendulum deck, because if you've normal summoned already, you can Pendulum summon this out, and if you don't need it anymore, make a rank 4 with it, because it's a level 4. So it's a really good card to side in. Plus, because it stops light monsters, ABCs can't play. Because if you've got this, they cannot special summon their Photon Thrasher, they cannot special summon their Galaxy Soldier if they're playing Nat variant, and they cannot special summon anything off their gadgets. So, pretty much, this card is probably a very great card to side against the ABC to begin with. And knowing this really does make me think, okay, I've got to get Ally of Justice Quarantines again, because great card to side, and great card to use. But, yeah, guys, the main reason this card came into my head was because not being able to special summon light monsters is one of the biggest deals for this format, because we have gone into a format where it's no longer dark monsters being the best deck, it is now light monsters, with Blue Eyes, ABCs coming out soon, all of that. So Quarantine is a really good side deck choice for ABC, and that's one of my main reasonings for it. So that was the first card I wanted to talk about. Let's go on to the next one, which is another Ally of Justice card, and it's called Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. Now, why Ally of Justice Cycle Reader, you may ask? Well, its effect is, during either player's turn, you can discard this card to select and remove from play up to 2 light monsters from your opponent's graveyard. Why is this good? Well, they're usually sending the ABCs to the graveyard to use their effects. So if they send the ABCs to the graveyard, you can banish like their A and their B from their graveyard, or their A and their C, or their B and their C, and any of those combinations, and they are then unable to summon their ABC Dragon Buster Cannon, which is really good. So just knowing this made me think this is a really good card. Plus, this is a tuner monster, so you could put this in any synchro deck. You could put this in any deck that plays a synchro, like I just said. Plus you're able to banish 2 light monsters from the graveyard, as I said before. Like, this card really does stop the ABC deck, and seeing this card really does make me think, oh, great card to side against ABC. Really good to use in. Plus, you can side this deck in pretty much any deck, because it's a hand trap, so you don't really care. And being a hand trap means you can stop them first turn as well. So, really good card. And sorry if you're hearing vacuuming noises. My mum's just turned on the vacuum. But hey, what am I going to do about that? But nonetheless, yeah, Cycle Reader is another really good card because it's removes from play light monsters from the graveyard, so you can also side it against Blue Eyes. And you can banish their ABC monsters from graveyard. Make Yu-Gi-Oh! Great again by banishing those ABCs. But yeah, so another great card which is really good. Now, the next card is another card you can side in every deck, which is pretty good, and that is Artifact Lancier. Now, why Artifact Lancier, you may be asking? Well, Artifact Lancier is another hand trap that says you can discard the card to stop banishing cards for the rest of this turn, which is really good because, like, if you discard this, and that means they cannot summon their ABC Dragon Buster if they're attempting to. So you can be like, discard this when they get all 3 ABCs on the field, then, or in the graveyard, then they're stuck for that turn because you've discarded Lancier, meaning they're unable to summon their big monster, and meaning they've slowed down quite a bit. So they're a much slower deck now purely because you just discarded a Lancier. And hand traps are really relevant in this format, obviously, so knowing this really does make me think, oh, this is another great side deck card to go up against the ABC deck. And also, obviously, you can side this in any deck because, like, you're not going to be banishing on your turn unless you're playing Cosmo, which is very unlikely seeing as they got hit quite bad. But nonetheless, Lancier is another great card to side against the ABC matchup, which is a really good choice. So, yeah. And the last hand trap sort of card that I wanted to talk about was Ghost Reapers and Winter Cherries, which is a great choice as well if you're playing ABCs yourself and you go into a mirror match. Because what you can do is, this card is essentially, you can discard this card when your opponent has more monsters than you do, and reveal one extra monster you have in your extra deck. And so you can reveal your ABC Dragon Buster, and then banish all of their ABC Dragon Busters. Now, sadly, I do not own any Winter Cherries, otherwise I'll be siding them for YCS Liverpool, unless I can actually pick some up by then, maybe for mate. But nonetheless, this card is going to be one of the best side deck cards during YCS Liverpool and the ABC format. So if you have them, you're great. You're going to be fine with ABCs. But this card is truly one of the best side decks for ABCs because it just banishes all the ABC Dragon Busters. Plus, even if you're not using it against ABCs, you could be like, oh, reveal, banish your Castel. Reveal, banish your Lightning. Reveal, banish your Diamond Dive. Reveal, banish your Dweller. Like, you can just banish anything with it, which is really good. So, it's kind of a decent side regardless against other decks, even if they've got ABC Dragon Buster on the board already. So those are all the hand traps that I really wanted to talk about. Let's go on to the only spell on this list, which I think is really good, which is System Down. Now, why is System Down a good spell card to side in against the ABC deck? Well, it was great against Cosmos, and it's great again. You know why? Because it says pay 1,000 life points, banish all face-up machine monsters your opponent controls, and in their graveyard. Now, why is this important? Well, if your opponent's got an ABC Dragon Buster on the board, you could be like, activate this card. If they want to use their ABC Dragon Buster's effect, it won't matter because they'll lose all the ABCs in their graveyard regardless. They'll lose all the ABCs on their field regardless, plus machines if they got like a Gigionex, a Gadget, or any of that on the board. And they're going to lose every machine-type monster they own, all for the small price of 1,000 life points, which is kind of worth it when you think about it, to get over a board. Now, obviously, this card can have its bad times as well, because if they flip Anti-Spell, which the deck does main free of, sadly, but nonetheless, this card is very much worth it if it can get around a Dragon Buster, all the ABCs in the graveyard, all the ABCs they attempt to summon, and any other machine-type monsters on the field. So, yeah, this card is a worthwhile card to side this format, because, well, when the ABC deck comes out this Thursday, and it's just a great card regardless to side. So, I hope you guys will choose to side this card as well, because I personally am, and pick up yours if you can now, because they're currently in the OTS 2-pack, which is really good right now, so go try and pick those up. And so let's go on to the next card that we're going to be talking about, which is Imperial Animal. Now, Imperial Animal is a decent side deck card to go up against the ABC matchup, purely because it stops your opponent from summoning ABC Dragon Buster or using ABC Dragon Buster's effect. Because it says cards cannot be banished. So essentially, they cannot summon their ABC Dragon Buster. They cannot banish if they've already got an ABC Dragon Buster on the field, which is really good in my opinion. So, the only downfall to this card, though, I would have to say, is your opponent could just summon Diamond Direwolf and then get rid of this card very easily, because as I've said before in other videos or this video, I'm not too sure if I have said it, the deck can spam rank 4s like no tomorrow, and it's a very consistent deck. So if you flip Imperial Animal, they're still going to be able to get around it with a Diamond Direwolf, which the deck usually commonly plays 2 of. So it really would make sense for them to be able to get rid of this card very easily and still make their Dragon Buster, but they'll have to use more resources to get rid of this card, which will be still kind of good, but it'll be pretty bad if they actually do. But nonetheless, this is still a decent side deck card to go up against the ABC matchup, and I just wanted to actually talk about this card briefly. So now for the last card that we're talking about, and that is Light Imprisoning Mirror. Now, why is Light Imprisoning Mirror a good side deck card for them? Well, against the ABC matchup, well, it says negate all light monster effects activated on the field or in the graveyard. So this card can essentially say, ABC Dragon Buster, you're not getting your effect. A Assault Call, you're not getting your effect. A Buster Dragon, you're not getting your effect. A Sea Wyvern, you're not getting your effect. A Tsukuyomi, you're not getting your effect. So this essentially can stop every light monster in the entire deck that's on the field or in the graveyard, which is a really good thing as well, which I think is great. It's a good side deck card. It's not the best side deck card purely because it's kind of got the Diamond Direwolf situation where they can Diamond Direwolf away. Obviously not as easy because they won't be able to use their gold or silver gadgets to get on the field, but if they've got a Thrasher and an ABC in hand, then they can get around this card pretty easy. But nonetheless, this card is a decent side deck card for the ABC matchup, and yeah, so all these cards that I have just mentioned are really good, decent matchup side deck cards for the ABC matchup. If you guys want to side these cards yourself, I suggest you do. They are quite decent cards to side against them. These are just cards that I thought would be really good to side against the ABCs. Some of the best that are probably the best to side against the ABC matchup. Like personally, I'm probably going to be siding the cycle readers and the system downs, because those are just what I have on person, because I don't have quarantines because I was borrowing those with my mate. I don't really want to run Lanciers when I can run quarantine as the cycle reader as well, because I can actually get rid of the problem. And also system down is like a Raigeki for machine monsters, so it's just a great side deck card anyway. But yeah, these are just a few cards that I thought would be great to side against ABCs. If you guys like these cards or are going to side these cards, tell me in the comment section below. Please like the video, and as always guys, please like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.